Y'all, welcome back to another episode of Herbal Tea Thursday, your wellness live series. It's your healthy habits and lifestyle coach Giovanni, host of the Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives podcast with my girl.
Hey everyone, it's Shireen, host of Voices and Vibes and owner of Perspective Studio Productions. What's going on, Giovanni?
Yes. Not much. It's a good old Friday Eve. Come on with it.
What you sipping on today?
What you sipping on today? What you sipping?
Oh, girl, I'm sipping on two things. I was sipping on some water, but I left it over there. And I am sipping on a coffee because you will see me yawn a lot. I just made it. And I'm sipping on ginger and turmeric green tea. And it's just loose leaf ginger and turmeric green tea. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's cheers.
Yeah. All righty. Let me grab this one. Cha-ching. Bap. Cheers. I think mine's too hot.
I'm dreaming. I'm drinking red raspberry leaf tea. So my cycle is due any day now. So I know this is the right herbal tea for the flow. So that's
you are going to relax those lovely muscles of yours. Relax them. That's nice.
And I will be.
Mm-hmm.
So check us in, Shireen.
I am shuffling. Oh,
Two
is popping.
All right, let's get it.
Popping. All right. One is, what was your favorite activity as a child?
What was my favorite activity as a child?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite activity as a child
was...
It's either making up dances with my cousins or playing mall and house outside. So that's what it would be. Inside, my favorite thing growing up was making up dances with my cousins. And then outside would be playing mall or house outside. What about you?
It's funny because I did not even think about that. As soon as you said that, making up dances with your cousin, my brother and I did that all the time. We made up dances. So much fun. Like we made up routines, you guys have your little battle routine. But the first thought that came to mind, which was probably my favorite thing to play, was hide and go seek.
I was going to say that too. And we used to play it at night. Yeah. And then every now and then we were able to play in the house. But I didn't say it because I wasn't that good at it. So I was like, I'd rather go with the dancing and playing house, a little bit more creative, a little bit more fun. But I wasn't that good at hide and go seek. But we used to love playing that when we could stay outside just a little later. Because, once the lights came on, we could stay out a little later, was hide and go seek in the dark or hide and go seek in the house. But
Yeah, I think for us, like at one of our, and I think I've mentioned this before, I've said it somewhere, hide and go seek at one of our best friends' houses was like, they didn't even have the biggest house, but they had a lot of things in their basement. So we could hide in all kinds of places. And one time I hid in the dryer and they decided to turn it on. And then they decided to forget that I was in there and go outside and continue playing until their mom was like, "Where's Shireen at?"
So are you saying this is the literal picture that's in the dictionary when you hang your friends out to dry?
Damn. No one has ever made that correlation. No one has ever made that correlation.
They turned it on and went outside to play without you, switched the whole game up.
Girl, completely left me in there until someone's mom said, "Where's Shireen? Andy and Steven? Where's Shireen?" Yeah.
All right. So, y'all, first check-in question: what was your favorite activity as a child? Make sure you put it in the chat. What up, all? Shoot!
Good hell. I was gonna say good morning, oh shoot, but
Oh goodness.
residue of the dryer. All right. Our second question. Our second question is I have everything I need to create. Oh, this is just a statement.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, but there's a question above the statement that I didn't see.
Oh,
How does this statement resonate with you? Okay.
okay.
Écoute-moi. Listen up. How does this statement resonate with you? I have everything I need to create the life I desire.
It's already in me.
That's right.
That's what I got. What you got?
Oh, I got like yeah, like I can do anything. Like, I was thinking the same thing. Like as soon as I read it, I was like, "Oh, that's me already, baby. That's me. That's me." Like there's nothing we can't do. So, yeah, I like it. I really like that one. This is our first time getting that. Actually, this is our first time getting any of these cards.
Thank goodness. We
Yeah,
needed
we got
some
something new.
freshness around here.
Yeah, that's
I'm
cool. That's
with it.
cool.
I'm
Yeah,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Y'all, if this is your first time or if you are returning, thank y'all for coming back and vibing with us on another Herbal Tea Thursday, a wellness live series where we are prioritizing our wellness and well-being, and we want you all to join us and do the same. We're holding each other accountable for the journey, not perfection, but progress. Y'all hit the notification bell so you never miss a live. Make sure you subscribe and connect with us on all of our socials. The info is in the show notes. Wellness Win, Shireen, what you got?
Oh, last night I went home and I slept in my bed. And that sounds so simple. But if anybody knows how I have been grinding this week, I have been working late hours where I'm too tired to drive. So I have been catching it on the chair. And I finally made it home and took a good old sleep. And I almost forgot how nice my bed felt. And I actually fell asleep talking to you. So
Prepping for today, y'all. And I was like, okay, that sounds good, right? And all I heard was snoring. I was like, okay, and let's go.
and I try to warn you.
Okay, it's all right. It's all right. So my win, Shireen, my win was that I went to a 2-day speaking event. Only went to day one. Wish I would have made it to day two, but I had a prior commitment to be a vendor at the prostate cancer symposium that I was invited to last year. So I wanted to go and represent the brand. But day one was absolutely phenomenal. I learned so much. It was good to promote my brand, but most importantly, be in proximity of other people that affirmed, confirmed, or even wanted to hold me accountable and be support on my next step for my business. And it just felt great to be in the room, to be visible, to be vocal. I was a little nervous. I don't think I really like talking into mics unless it's my little mini mic now that I'm out at the event. Like that's fun, but like when you get those real heavy, powerful mics and it's not really yours and your event, it's a little different. But I absolutely enjoyed the experience and enjoyed the experience with everybody in the room. So that was definitely a win. I'm looking forward to seeing how what's already in me is released and relayed and blossoms throughout this thing called life.
I think it's cool, Giovanni, because this is that feeling that you felt that you just described. Uh, this win, if you can just take a mental note of it and remember what you said today on May the 8th. Yeah, mark the date, mark what you said, because you said it felt a little uncomfortable speaking into this mic. But when you get on bigger stages and the more you speak, you are going to be feeling so good and it's going to become so natural. And you're not even going to be thinking about whose mic it is. It's just going to be like, man, I just had to just talk. And, we talked about this. So remember today, because this will be the time that you're like, I'll remember back on, what day was May 8th when I talked about, talking on these stages or on this stage and holding a mic and feeling completely uncomfortable with somebody else's mic. Now that's growth. So this is the beginning. This is the genesis of your speaking part of your career. So just remember that win, remember that feeling, remember that date, because when you talk about it like 6 months from now, it can be a whole different thing. Yeah, I think that this is a milestone. This gonna be one to celebrate. Yeah, absolutely.
Got it. Wrote it down. What's your wellness win? Oh, wait, you went first.
I did.
You slept in your bed.
Yeah,
you did. You stepped in your bed. Y'all make sure y'all drop y'all wellness wins in the chat. We want to celebrate your wellness wins, but most importantly, we want you to acknowledge and celebrate your wellness
win. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so let's get into this thing, Shireen.
Mm-hmm.
Choose you every day, every decision.
Yeah.
Y'all, we talking wellness. That's the topic. That's the theme. And it truly isn't accidental. It's what we actually choose every single day, whether we're intentional with it or whether it's just a habit or whether it's out convenience, comfortness. Y'all, we are talking wellness. How are you showing up for you? How are you making these decisions to make sure that you are loving you, caring for you, and going after the things that you say you want and you know that you deserve? So that is what we're talking about today. So Shireen, let's first start with self-sabotage. Let's just be real with it. Let's be real with it, because I feel like we don't acknowledge enough how we are in the way of what it is that we say we want. Let's go there first.
Okay.
I think self-sabotaging behaviors and things, sometimes we do it unintentionally. And then sometimes we are intentional about it. Like it's just what it is. What are some ways that you feel like are common when it comes to self-sabotage?
Well, I think people can probably relate to just overthinking, right? Or wanting things perfect. So yeah, that perfection. People want things perfect. So I think that just I think the overthinking has you hostage a bit. And I actually went to an event on the weekend, and there was a psychotherapist. It was, even though it was a wealth event, the psychotherapist was bringing up things. They had a psychotherapist to talk about the mindset of when you're about to like invest and things like that. And she put a slide up, but I took note of the slide. So I took a screenshot of the slide because the points that she brought up, I felt reflected to me in different stages of my life. And one of them relates to this. And I thought, I'm going to talk about this on my podcast. So she put up, which we've heard before, fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. And I never heard the fawn before. Fight being, she put, so I won't go to her reasonings, but fight, I think when I was younger, I used to fight with my mouth, like cuss and get mad. And, so that is my mouth. That was my fight. Flight, I tend to flight when I get upset, right? So friends and things like that, cut you off, I'm out, Freeze is with my business. That's that paralyzed. And that's the word she wrote, paralyzed. And I think that when we overthink, we get with our businesses, we get into freeze mode, right? Or if we're overthinking anything, sometimes we don't get any movement. So, we there's no progress. And that's like a form of self-sabotage. And even though you're talking to people and they're like, get out of your head, get into your body, you're frozen. And even if you know what to do, you're just frozen. And I'm not going to go into the last one. The last one was fawn, which was like, give it away. Probably from a business aspect, might be when I give too much information away. Right? But that's also kind of self-sabotage, because it might cause you to go back and regret giving things away, right? So those four words I found was pretty interesting. But freeze, I would think, is a form of self-sabotage. How about yourself?
I thank you for sharing that. I was over here taking notes. Um, um, and I was thinking, like, as you were talking, like, what was really coming to mind. So I like that you hit on like overthinking, and overthinking leading to being in a freeze mode, and then you start to not really make any type of progress. And then perfectionism is a thing, and it's like if you can't get it perfect or at a certain level of quality, then you're not even starting. You're not even doing what you can do with what you do have, to be able to go ahead and start getting in that data, to start giving that impact, to start supporting people, because you're waiting on this perfect set of criteria things before you can make stuff happen. A big thing I feel like that can be self-sabotaging is not truly having a plan. So saying you want to do things or you want to have something, but not really creating a plan of action, identifying what those goals, look like and how you're going to actually achieve them. Just saying, oh, this is what I want, and then just expecting it to happen over time. I also said not being realistic with things that are going to be sustainable. Like if you know you don't already do certain things, why make it seem like that's like some people who might want to change their eating habits, right? There people who've always eaten meat, growing up a certain way. I mean, it can be done, but no one just wakes up and say, you know what, I'm just going to live a plant-based whole food life, and that's
Right.
it. Like there's levels to changing and transitioning your relationship with your food. It's not something that's just going to happen overnight because you saw somebody else that's now fruitarian, and now you're just going to dive into this fruitarian lifestyle and expect to be perfect at it when there's no plan, and it might not even be sustainable for you yet because you have to grow in it. So I feel like that's a way that we kind of self-sabotage, by not even being realistic with ourselves. And then also the inability to let go. You talked about that when it comes to relationships and friendships, like the inability to let go of who you used to be, the environment you used to be in, the comfort that you used to be in, the way that you used to think, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs. Inability to let some of those things go is going to keep you from being able to move forward and go after the things that you say you want. That's you being in your own way. And then having a lack of support. Like you need support, in order to be able to progress and go towards the things that you need. And that support looks different, and you have to be open to it. And so that was something I thought about. And then not processing grief. You tend to need to acknowledge that there's something in your life that you have to actually let go of before you can really start creating and move towards a different lifestyle. And so processing that old life and acknowledging that that's who you used to be, and now becoming more aware and going after the things that you say you really want. And I think that too can be an issue because you can't take your old self into new spaces and expect new results, and a new state of mind, and lifestyle. And then lastly, putting a price on something that's priceless. Like when you want to start putting a price on things that are priceless and that are invaluable, it's as if your lack of values is keeping you where you are and won't allow you to be able to move the way you want to move, grow the way you want to grow, and go after the things that you really want to go after. So those are some of the things that kind of came to mind as you were going over the things from the psychotherapist card and your reflection regarding that. And I feel like those are just some things that could be self-sabotaging.
I think there's about two or three that you mentioned. Letting go, that one's a big one. Like I was telling my daughter that right now I am working on forgiving, right? Because it can't always be flight, right? So I'm working on being able to forgive better. Um, and just moving on from it. So I could move on from it for sure, and you don't have nothing to do with me. Right? Like I'm out. But being able to forgive and sustain, when within reason, right? Because I definitely believe in boundaries. But flight is not always the right answer, and that's like a trauma response. So I am working on being able to forgive better. And then what was the second last one you mentioned?
Not processing the grief of an old way of living.
No, right after that, or I think it was in
Putting a
your.
price on what's
Oh,
priceless.
no. So it is the one you said, not processing. So that one is an interesting one because that's one I battle with, especially when you're so accustomed to doing something for so long. The example that you gave where, oh, you just want to turn into like a plant base all of a sudden, it is interesting because I know someone that's related to me, and they just went through some stuff and they came out and they're like, I like on the other side of going through their stuff, they were like, I am no longer going to eat meat. And I said to them, how can you just like switch like that? And they're like, what do you mean? I've been eating meat all my life. What's the big deal if I stop? And it was just so simple. Maybe they still eat like seafood and stuff like that, but majority of it is plant based. And the reasoning just made so much sense. Like this week, I mean, I always have a lot of vegetarian meals. I'm not really. It's not like I gotta have plant based. I just eat whatever I want to eat, and when I eat a lot of, there's one West Indian place that I always buy food from, and it's always my platter is always this veggie platter, you know. And I was eating it this week, and I was thinking, ugh, I could go back to because I used to be vegetarian, right? And I'm like, I can go back to that life. I feel like when I keep saying to myself, when I get older,
and that happens every day.
but the accepting the new lifestyle, like leaving corporate is one thing, and becoming and accepting where I am is another thing. So those two things are hard when you've been doing something for so long. And then you feel like, oh, well, everybody, for me, with everybody I know on LinkedIn is related to like my old corporate life. And can I accept, but like, will they judge? It is something that I talk about frequently with different people and I battle within myself. And then just accepting where I am. Obviously, I'm accepting it because I'm doing the things, but accepting it where it's like, it's okay to be in a certain space and not be focused on a certain topic or like subject matter as I've been. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that you
That's a
said
big one.
I like that you said the eat meat all my life. Like that's a big thing for me. Like when people say, well, you don't miss so-and-so or you don't miss that. And it was like, no, I had it all my life. Like most of my life I've had it, and I've had it in so many different ways. And I'm so comfortable with talking about the things that I used to eat. And I don't like shame people on what it is that they like to eat or what they do. And I even talk about options because again, it was levels for me. Like I wasn't always plant-based, and then things happened. I did go pescatarian, and then I took out the dairy, and then it was still the seafood, but still took out the dairy, and then the last thing was the seafood. And so it was just, I know it was levels to it, and it was a reason why I wanted to go down this path. And then because I felt so much better and I realized I learned it, I was more aware. It was just like, there's just some things I just won't go back to because I'm okay with where I am. And my body feels so much better that way. And I feel about the way I feel about my life helps. But I feel like that's what I have to tell people is that I don't miss something that I've had my whole entire life, and I had it so many different ways. And I can easily just think about what that experience was like. And because I'm creating new experiences and more experiences eating great plant-based foods, why would I be missing something when I'm already still enjoying great food that is good for me? And it's just really good. And so I've never been someone who's trying to convert people. I do want people to eat more plant-based whole foods nutritiously because that type of food is medicine for them and it's healing for them. But yeah, like I feel you on that. Like I understand what your relative was saying when it was like, well, I ate meat all my life. What is there to miss? Like every single week, almost every day. Like I'm into this thing. Like I've been it. But what I thought was beautiful was you talking about becoming and accepting. And I think once people reach a level of becoming, and then they start to accept
Becoming.
how their life is going to how their life is going to change, or how they want their life to change. And
Mhm.
if you're not holding on to instant gratification, then you're willing to give yourself the time to get to the results and the outcome of who you are planning and expecting to become, and accepting all of the things that come with it. And sometimes all of the things that you're accepting doesn't necessarily feel as good, but where you're going is where you know greatness lies for you and the life that you want to live. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So I love that you talked about the becoming and accepting. And I think if you're okay with it, we can now start transitioning into how do we start to show up and choose ourselves every day. Now that we've kind of acknowledged some ways that we kind of self-sabotage or stunt the growth, or not really doing the best with choosing us every day based on our decisions, how
Mhm.
can we start choosing ourselves?
You want to go ahead first?
Mm-mm.
Girl.
I can. I think one is recognizing that each and every decision that you make is a choice. And in that choice, you can be intentional about how that choice is driving you towards the life, the goals, the aspirations that you want in life, or how it's holding you back or keeping you still. And I think forward motion is ideal. But when people say, like, I just don't have the time, and the things that they're not, like, everyone gets the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So it's just what you're doing with your time that's going to translate into, are you going towards what it is you say you want and you know that you deserve, or
Mhm.
is it keeping you where you are right now because there's a level of comfort and safety right here? And so I would say, one, just realizing that each decision plays a part.
Yeah. I think I would say, so we'll go back to what's the question that I'm answering?
How do people get to a place where they realize that every decision every day is allowing them to choose them?
I think you have to be mentally ready,
Mm.
right? I think you need to be mentally ready. Like just how you talked about the stages that you went through to get to plant-based. You go through stages to get to where you are trying to go, right? And sometimes you feel like, oh, this is hard, or I'm not ready yet, or I ain't gonna do it yet. Like you have to be mentally ready. Um, I started juicing a few weeks ago, like back to it kind of thing. But first, I was thinking about it all the time, right? And so until I got to the point where I finally made it to the grocery store, I had taken down, excuse me, sorry, screenshots of the recipes that I wanted to make, the benefits of what they were. When I even made a schedule of the times that I want to drink it, but I still had to get to the grocery store. So my stages in the simplest form. And then when I got to the grocery store, I knew what I wanted. And as soon as the juice finished, I knew I need more apples. Right now, I need more apples. You know what I mean? So, like, there's the mental stage of being ready. And once you make that decision, like the mindset has changed to it, you will start preparing to do the action, right? So, like, I know I want to get to the gym, but my focus was get on the food first. Because if I can solidify the food in the midst of all the madness of the things I got to do, um, by the time I get to the gym, the food part will feel secure and just normal. But because I know I want to get to the gym, I talk to everybody else who's going to the gym. And how are you feeling? You know, you've been going, how long you been going now, girl? How much you lose, girl? How you feeling? Is your clothes feeling looser? And I always look at, there's this website, Black Women Losing Weight. Black Women Losing Weight, it's called. I've been following that website for years. And it just shows stories and stories and stories of Black women losing weight. And I want to see me. right? And they tell like different, um, the different stories of how they lost weight, like, and then there's different sizes and amounts, and it could be for all kinds of reasons. So there's the research that goes into the next stage, and then the action is like right now I have like a gym bag in my car, right? So I think you go through stages, but when you're mentally ready, you will start the movement to get to where you want to be. Yeah.
And I think when you first started, it was like mentally ready. And I wrote it down like, what does that even look like? And then, like, as you kept talking, you kind of hit on exactly what I was thinking, and it was mindset. And for me, when I think about mindset, I think about your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs. Those things create your behaviors, and your behavior determines what your actions are going to be, which is your actual lifestyle. And so if you want to see that lifestyle change, if you want things to elevate in regards to your lifestyle, it all goes right back to your mindset. But it has to move through your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs, because those all determine the decision that you actually make every single day, what you actually do, and that creates your reality to become your lifestyle. And so I think at the end of the day, how you choose you every single day through every decision is through your mindset. It's
And
definitely through your mindset.
you could hear it like with the story I just told, like the actions that it took,
Mhm.
right? For both
It went from
stories.
your thoughts to what you were feeling, then what
Yeah.
your beliefs went into, and then your
Like
behaviors
me
aligned,
even,
and you went to the store, and then you got the things.
checking in with other people, how's their journey going, looking at, just it was almost like gathering. You know what? I'm ready, right? And also like when you say the feeling, you feel it when you really want to move on to the next stage in your life. And sometimes you just get fed up with holding yourself back, right? You get completely fed up and you're like, "Oh, can I just do this already?" And there's no reason you cannot, right? And it doesn't matter if we're talking about um your lifestyle in regards to what you eat and how you move, or your
Just how you
business.
live.
It's exactly how you live. It's anything that you want to attain, you want to achieve. You got to get fed up of not doing the work, right? But but I do think you have to be ready, mentally ready.
I think the key thing that you said just now was doing the work. So
Work.
many people think that there's no action that
Very
has to
good.
be invested in order for you to get to where it is that you're going. Some people are expecting hand holding. Some people are expecting it to just come to them or fall into their lap, or for something or someone to just come and make it happen for them. But the key thing is actually doing the work. And when you're fed up, then you need to learn how to pivot, find a different strategy, pursue some other area. Like, you need to continue to exhaust all options. Like, if the drive is still there, the motivation is still there, the eagerness is still there to go after the things that you say you want, you have to keep acting on it. And so I'm really glad that you said do the work. Something has to be performed with some type of action in order for something to happen for you. And you just got to keep doing it and keep getting the reps in until you get where it is that you say you want. And by the time you get there, you're going to realize that there's still more things out there that you still want. And now you're going to be able to keep doing it. It creates character. So doing the work creates the character, and the character gets to live the lifestyle that was once just a dream, that's now turning it into a reality because your mindset was fed, and you were able to truly change your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, that changed your behaviors, that led you to where it is that you are going. And so I'm really glad that you said do the work.
I think there's also the belief in yourself. Not I think, I know there's also the belief in yourself, because your mindset's not going to change unless you believe that you deserve this, right? You deserve this. And there's no, like, that's how you're going to crush those limiting thoughts. And even when you experience a limiting thought, being able to reverse it. So just know that the mind plays tricks, as we hear. But a term, and I don't know what it's called. I don't remember what it's called. And you basically have like 17 seconds to change your mind. If not, you're going to stew in it, right? It's some study they did. But
I don't know it, but I would say reframe, like reframe the thought, but I don't
but
know
yeah,
what
yeah, but I'm
word.
just saying like, yeah, and I'm saying you have 17 seconds before you go deep in it. So if you get that, and whatever it is, you can reframe it, but it's acknowledging it. So I remember when I heard that study, that 17 seconds stood out. So it's
Mm.
not like, yeah, you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. But when I heard it on TikTok and they were talking about this 17 seconds to change your mind. That part stuck with me. And it's like, oh no. So for me, I talk to myself. You have to talk to yourself, feed yourself love, right? So I will be like, no, Simon. Or sometimes when I talk to myself, I call myself baby. Like, no, baby, we gotta come on, girl. Like, no, baby, we're gonna go do, you know what, honey? Let's go get something to eat. So I am pouring that love into myself. It's that self-talk. But if I catch myself saying something negative, in order to reverse it, like I that 17 seconds, you hear something that sticks with you, that term stuck with, not the name, I don't remember the name, but that 17-second part. Now I am consciously saying, oh no, let's change that. Oh no, 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 let's reframe that. And to the point where, like, I don't want the negative connotation tied to me. And I'm trying not to even put it out there tied to me. So if I'm commenting on something, I'm not saying, don't kill me, like, negative connotation to it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very aware of how I'm speaking to myself, my belief in myself. And I feel like that is what's going to get you somewhere, because we look for outside validation all the time, to our friends, to whoever, outside
Mm.
validation. But really, you have to know that you can do it, because not everyone is always going to support you. And yeah, you need the support, but you need to believe in yourself first. And nobody needs to give you that validation. You need to give yourself that validation.
Yeah. I like that you talked about the belief and knowing that you deserve. And sometimes people don't realize they deserve it. And so it's really getting around the right people, listening to the right books or speeches or sermons or talks to really help pour into the limiting beliefs, to pour into the doubts, to pour into um, some of the thoughts that you are thinking that are not of you. And so that's in the thoughts, the feelings, the belief, and reframing those things and shift it. I had never heard of the 17 seconds to uproot. And so I
Mhm.
absolutely love that. But
Yes.
I definitely wrote that down with the 17 seconds. That's going to be like one of my biggest takeaways from this. But you never can stop working on your mindset. And again, mindset to me is thoughts, feelings, beliefs, because they shape your behavior. And your behavior is how you choose yourself every single day in every decision that you make. And it then shapes your reality. So if you don't like the way your life is looking, you don't like your reality, you don't like the relationships and how they make you feel, or your working environment, things of that nature, really start pouring in and doing an assessment of your mindset. What are your true thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs about these things? How are you choosing you? What can you do in regards to work to change those things? Reframe those thoughts, make some pivots, or start making adjustments and different decisions to go a different way. But you deserve to put in that work. And I think the only other thing was something that I know we talked about, I don't know, probably last year sometime, was I had a guest on the Empowered Place, Empowered Lives podcast, and she talked about how much work you have to put in to affirmations. And so it's so easily for someone to see an affirmation, hear an affirmation, and automatically think, okay, I'm gonna own this affirmation. But there's so many doubts, limiting beliefs, and fears that come up when someone hear an affirmation, that they don't truly own it and can embody it the way that it was created once they said it. And so there's
Mhm.
work to do behind the affirmations, just like there's work to do in regards to the mindset before things could actually truly shift in your life to go after the outcomes and the results that you truly want for yourself and for others around you, and for the impact that you want to make with the purpose over your life. So that's all I got. Shireen, you good?
Well, I actually just looked up the 17 seconds, and it's actually called the
Okay.
17-second rule, right? And it's
Oh,
actually 17-second rule for manifestation. It's the idea when you hold a thought for at least 17 seconds with focused intention, you begin the process of manifesting that thought into reality, right? And it's like a neuroscience, the neuroscience of focused intention, and I think it's also deeply rooted in neuroscience and psychology. It's and give me one second because there was another part that
I love this.
yeah, and
I'm gonna
I'm
do this
telling you,
for
when I
my
heard it,
street.
it stuck out to me, like, it made so much sense, so I hold on to it, right? So I don't wanna get stuck in the negative because you're attracting something whether positive or negative, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you're manifesting whatever's positive or negative. Let me hold on to that for 17 positive seconds, right? But, let's see, I have a few here. According to Abraham, focusing your mind on your desires for 68 seconds is enough to start making an impact on the physical world, and things start to move towards your desired direction. So Abraham Hicks came up with a 17-second rule. There was one other part. Let's see, I had it open here. In as little of 17 seconds, in as little as 17 seconds of focusing on something, a vibration that attracts more thoughts like it will begin to, I can't even pronounce this word. There's a word that I can't. Oh, shoot. I got to have a subscription to even see the whole article. Oh, wait, let me see. I would say look it up, folks, the 17-second rule. Let's see if I can see that one because I got into it. This is a article on Medium, but I lost the part that I was reading. I was just fascinated by it, and I think it's just you want to let go before 17 seconds, or you want to change your mind if you are focused on something negative when it comes to 17 seconds, right? Acknowledge it, and as you said, like reframe it like to yourself and keep it pushing, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting.
I like it. I
Yeah, that's
definitely check out.
yeah, Abraham
And I
Hicks,
wrote, I
17
wrote
seconds rule.
it down. Mm-hmm. And I wrote it down. And I put it in
Mm-hmm.
my search query. But that was good. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we just really wanted to have a
Oh,
conversation on choosing you every single day through every decision. And we wanted you to be empowered and aware that every single decision you make has a way of shaping your reality and your future. And we want you to remember to choose you every single day. And so that's what the conversation was today. And so we hope that y'all got something from it. We hope that you got something from it. I know I got something from it. It was great talk for me. I hope when y'all catch the replay, if you didn't join us live, you get something from it. Make sure you comment. Let us know you were here, what you got out of it, whether you wanted to tell us a takeaway. If you're here now, you want to drop a takeaway and you've been with us for the conversation, make sure you let us know in the comments. And if you're catching the replay, don't forget to drop up your wellness win and or the check-in. Like check in with us with the check-in or hit us with a wellness win. What you got for us, Shireen?
yeah, it's funny because I opened the deck and the one that was sitting on top just kind of, and then I started shuffling and I was like, no, I took it out and I was like, started shuffling. I'm like, this is it. Let me just not even
Good
bother.
job.
This one is let go.
Mm.
And sometimes you have to let go to grow. Also, as on this, the let go, I've been meaning to check out Mel Robbins' book. I think it's let it go, right? Or let go. So I think I'm going to check that out. What are you reading right now, Giovanni? Are you reading something right now?
I am reading right now. Yes. So I finished The Big Leap on, I believe, Sunday. Sunday, I
Okay.
finished The Big Leap. It was really good. And it actually talked about the upper limit problem when you feel like you're starting to get to a level of success and then you're fearing that level of success and you're not quite sure, do I even deserve this?
Yeah,
So
second
it's
guessing
really a really good book. So I enjoyed the Big Leap and talking about the upper limit problem. And then right now I'm reading What's in It for Them, And so as a healthy habits and lifestyle coach, I really want to make sure I key in and am able to truly hone in on what it is that others are needing and how I could really help them where they are and what they need help with. And so that book has been really good as well. And so that's what I'm currently reading right now is What's in It for Them. How about you?
What was the first one you said you just finished
The Big
reading?
Leap.
Oh, okay, I wrote the upper. Let me grab that one.
No, his concept that he talks about in the book is the upper limit problem, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I listened to it. I didn't read through it. Shireen,
I'm adding it to my Audible right now.
Okay, I got one credit too. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to use on that next credit. But it was something I was about to tell you. Oh, I think we were reading the story. I don't know. We were reading it, but I don't know if you were reading it with us because I know in the other group, the other community you were in, y'all had books y'all were reading over there too. So I think for us it was the story selling method. And I got through chapter 1 and 2. You just looked at it?
I just looked at it like
my intern sent me his YouTube channel. My intern sent me the YouTube channel. And I was like, why does this look? He looked familiar. This name sound familiar. And I went to the show notes. And he had some books, and I clicked on. I was like, why did I just see this book? I saw this book someplace. I was like, I have it. I looked in my Amazon. I couldn't find it. And so then I went and looked at my book sections that I've had and books I haven't finished, like physical books. And I saw it and I found it. I was like, okay, I need to get back in. Yes, right. I got to get back into that one because I definitely need to get into being able to do better with storytelling, story sharing, as I continue to improve my speaking skills. So
yeah, that book was on I read through like a good portion of it. And then it was on my coffee table for the longest. And I moved it because I'm like, why is this book on this coffee table? Or just sitting here.
You can get that as a part of like a
we got it when we were at we got it at the
podcast summit. Okay, so it came in the bundle of the bag.
Yeah, he was one of the speakers, right?
No, he wasn't. That was Dan.
Oh, that was Dan. Okay, so Dan didn't write that book. Oh, so then we got
I don't know how I got that.
We got it there. Yeah, we got it. We got it there. I don't know.
Had to, because if you got the physical and I got it and I didn't see it in my Amazon, I was like there.
No,
but anyway,
we got it there. It's a yellow book.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. But anyway, y'all, sorry about that. We were just talking about what we're reading. While we're at it, let us know if you're reading anything right now. Drop it in the comments as well so we can get an idea of what you're reading and what you're feeding your mind, what you're getting in this space and this level, if you are even readers. But Shireen just checked us out, y'all.
And I didn't even tell you what I'm reading.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I thought you.
No, I just asked you what you were reading, and
and then you start looking it up. Gotcha. Okay, go ahead.
No, because I want to add it to my list. You know what? It's over there. I added it here, but I actually have the physical book, and I just told you about this. I think I just told you about this.
I think the 7 Habits.
It is the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So I listened to half of it here, but I got it
already
last year in the community.
Oh, I thought you were already through half of it when you started last week with your son. I was like, dang, because I think that's like a couple of hours, right?
Yeah, no, according to this, it's 9 hours. But the book I have over on I brought it to the studio so I could sit and take breaks and read it, but that's not how this week has gone. But it's on the forefront of my desk now. That is the book that I will be reading. I want to see if I can get through a book a month, just get through the month, get through the book, a couple of pages every night before I go to bed, and just feed into myself that way. But yeah, let me read what these highly effective people are doing so I can make some changes.
Audio wise, I'm trying to get a book through the week. And like if I can find some of the not so long books, being able to get in like a chapter a day. And so now I'm listening like on my way to work. Sometimes I'm listening on my way, coming home, or maybe in the evening if I'm washing dishes after I juiced or something like that. So it's just getting it in that way. But I did a book last week and I really want to finish this book this week. So I'm trying to make sure I'm picking books that may be like 4, 5, 6 hours long audio wise, so I can get through the book a week, and then using my team to really help me pull out those high value takeaways to apply it to my business and to my life to make sure it sticks and it resonates because I'm listening to get in another touch or another element.
Yeah, I like that. I have so many books at home that I have not read that I'm actually going to get a new bookshelf and bring them down in the living room and create a little desk area in the living room. My office, my son uses it. So I just feel like I need something else. I have this little vision and I'm like, I need the books. I've always wanted a library, always wanted a library in my house, but just like bring them front and center. Let me see them. Let me get in them and scribble them. I love my audibles, but I have a lot of hard covers and soft covers that need my attention. Yeah, so I'm gonna just,
but it might be the summertime. I don't know. I'm getting to work, so I can't.
yeah.
With the action doesn't come a lot of turning pages.
Hey, whenever you can.
Right now. So yeah, I'm with you. So
And
y'all in the
hold on, one last comment. The summertime is a cool one because I remember being in school and then you would get like this book list. How many books did you have this? How many books could you read in the summer? No, oh girl. And then
I remember having to even read a book my freshman year of college, like before we started. And it was a book that we needed to read before we even came. And I guess it was just trying to get you ready for like diversity and being in new spaces and stuff like that. But reading is so powerful, y'all. Reading is so powerful.
All righty.
All right. So y'all, in the show notes, I have some things just for you if you are in the space where you are tired of being tired, you're sick of the pain, and you really just want to improve your wellness and your well-being. So check the show notes with the links. And then another episode of the Empowered Place, Empowered Lives podcast dropped yesterday. So make sure y'all tune in to the podcast and find both of our podcasts on your favorite podcast distribution platform and follow and rate, y'all. Follow and rate. If you could do one thing for us, listen to one episode for us and rate the podcast so they know we're giving value and good vibes with our podcast flow.
Yeah. I don't have much to add except for just be good to yourself. Treat yourself well. Like love yourself. Like truly, truly love yourself. Some people say do mirror work where you stare at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself. You know, when I actually had a client in sometime recently and I made her pull herself up on my iPad and just tell herself how much she loved herself. And she just started crying. And I'm like, you know, when was the last time you truly showed yourself love? You might show yourself love by like treating yourself out, or some people getting their nails and their hair done and all that stuff. But sometimes you just need to speak to yourself and remind yourself how much you love yourself. Because the one thing about the brain is a fascinating thing, but it does not know the difference when you're making a joke and when you're not making a joke to yourself. So you need to pour love into yourself. Yeah, that's all I got.
And at the end of the day, that's what choosing yourself is all about, is choosing how to love you. And how you love you is in the decisions that you make each and every single day. So love you, care for you, be you, y'all. But it's been another amazing Herbal Tea Thursday, y'all. My tea is gone. The conversation has been wrapped up, y'all. Thanks for vibing with us, y'all.
Have a wonderful evening, everyone.